But Hashem, Parashat Nasso. So in Parashat Nasso, one of the longest parashot in the Torah, few subjects, we'll choose one for today. Parashat Nazir, right? What's a Nazir? What's exactly Nazir? So the Torah says, somebody who decides to deprive himself from drinking wine, right? Cutting his hair, and not to go to a cemetery to touch any kind of impurity, right? For a period, only a period of 30 days, right? 30 days, he decides to abstain himself, right? From all those three types of things. So the Torah says, "Daber bnei Israel amata lahem ish o isha." It could be a man, it could be a woman. Asher yafli lindor nezer nazir l'Hashem. Miyain v'shechar yazir. He cannot drink wine, but he has to go to the extreme. Not only wine he cannot drink. Chometz yain, vinegar made out of wine. Chometz shechar, any liquor that has wine, right? Brandy. You have sometimes brandies, they have wine. That's why sometimes most of brandies are not kosher, right? Kol mishrat anavim. The Gemara says mishrat anavim, to take grapes and to drop it into a cup of water, right? And the water absorbs a little bit the taste. How much? Minute. Asur is not allowed. Anavim, grapes. Lachim, fresh grapes. Yeveshim, dry raisins. Lo yochel. Kol yemen nizro, all the days, right? Kol asher yaseh migefen, anything made out of the grapes or the vine. Michartzanim, even the pits of a grape, you cannot touch, right? You cannot. They make, today they make olive from grapes, grape seed, grape seed oil, right? Kol yemei nidre nizro, tar lo yavor al rosho. He cannot cut his hair, right? Ad melot hayamim, till he finishes off the days that he made the nether for, right? Kol yemei nizro, aziro, the whole time that is nazir, right? Al nefesh met lo yavo. He cannot get close to a dead body, cannot touch a dead body. And now the Torah goes like the same way we went into details, like to the extinct details of the grapes. The Torah says, what's the extended tuma, right? That is not allowed. La'aviv ul'imo, la'achiv la'achoto l'itama. Even to his parents, cannot go to the lavaya, right? He can go from far, he can see it, but he cannot go to the cemetery, he cannot bury his parents, right? Kol yemei nizro kadoshu l'Hashem. Yefeh. Now, the Torah says, there's like a story detail. V'chi yamut alaf met peta pitom. He's somewhere, he's in a building or something, somebody dies. There was a party, somebody got chas v'shalom a heart attack, he dies. He's under the same roof as this dead person. He doesn't have to touch him. He doesn't have to touch him, becomes tameh. So if this is the case, v'im yamut alaf peta pitom, this is something unexpected. Unexpected, right? What's the halacha? V'timeh rosh nizro, he becomes impure. V'gilach rosho b'yom torato b'yom hashivi. He becomes impure for 7 days. On the 7th day, after he becomes pure, he has to cut off his hair, whatever grew, right? Cut off his hair. And then he has to bring a korban, yavi shte torim, 2 birds, or shne bnei yonah, el hakohen, asa hakohen, echad lechatat, 1 bird is for the sin he just committed, chatat, chet, he just committed the sin, right? He became impure. Ve'echad le'olah, and 1 for a holocaust. The other bird is going to serve as a holocaust. And then, after shaving off his hair, ve'ezir l'Hashem et yemei nizro. He's going to do another 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, he's going to bring keves ben shnato le'Hasham, a sacrifice, a lamb called Hasham. And then he's going to have to bring, right, echad le'olah, another lamb for Holocaust, v'kavsa achat, a female sheep, right, bat shnata lechatat. So he's going to bring a 3 sacrifice. So this is the parasha of Nazir. It's a short parasha, right? And the thing we just read, in the Mishnayot, Masechet Nazir, they discuss what's happened if it happens on the 30th day. So he didn't come to Beit HaMikdash, but he was supposed to go today to Beit HaMikdash. So does he become impure or not? Or it's like he went already, like Kepshuto, even on the 30th day, if he goes to a Brit Milah in the morning, he says, after the Brit, I'm going to go to Bet HaMikdash, bring my sacrifice, finish the 30 days. Met peta pitom. 7 days of purity, right? He has to wait. Then another 30 days, he has to shave off his head. He has to bring the sacrifice and everything. The question is, the Torah, right? The Torah, Kedusha, is never going to make you responsible for something that's out of your control, right? If somebody dies by without warning, right? You're not responsible for that. So why would the Torah, right, tell you, you're responsible for that? How do we know the Torah says he's responsible for that? Because the Torah makes him bring korban chatat. Chatat you bring only for somebody that makes something by mistake, and you tell him, hey, you're responsible for what happened, right? It was a mistake, but it's still have chatat, right? So the Torah is saying, in another way, the Torah says over here, you're responsible for what happened. You're responsible, this person died. What do you mean? The guy had a heart condition, right? And he dies. It's my fault, right? What do you want to tell me? I cannot go to a Brit now because somebody might die? The Torah doesn't speak to Malachi Hasharet. The Torah speaks to normal people, right? So why would the Torah say, you know what? Because this guy died, the whole thing is off. Even on the 30th day, the whole thing is off. And you're going to have to bring now Korban Chatat. So over here, there's a beautiful Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra. Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra explains, V'usod misudot HaTorah. This is one of the secrets of Torah. Over here, this parasha, right? What's the sod? הוא אומר, in Pirkei Avot, פרק ד' משנה ב', it says, מצווה גוררת מצווה, ועבירה גוררת עבירה. When you do mitzvah, מן השמיים they're going to cause you to do another mitzvah. When you do an עבירה, מן השמיים they open you and you can do another עבירה. Says the Ibn Ezra, in other words, this met peta pitom would never happen if you didn't do a sin previously. You must have did something wrong that Hashem brought you in this situation. Lama dafka on this day that you came to the Brit Milah, on the 30th day, the last day. Could be also the 20th day, doesn't make a difference. Says the Ibn Ezra, you did something wrong. Could be the day prior, can be 2 days, 3 days prior. And if Hashem brings you in this situation, because avera goreret avera. So go look into your actions. In other words. En lecha mela hashim, okay? Who are you going to blame? Right? You have to blame yourself. Ma asita, what did you do that Hashem brought you dafka in the situation where a guy dies all of a sudden? Peta pitom. Right? Don't look to blame anybody. Don't look to say, it's not fair. I did 30 days already. No, Hashem couldn't. No. You did something wrong. Go to look for it. That's what the Torah wants from you. Right? On this note of mitzvah, goreret mitzvah, basically it's Pirkei Avot, it's Chazal. Right? So they say, when Rav Meir Shapira, the one who was innovated Daf Yomi, right? He liked to, when he did things, he liked to do them the best and the most beautiful things. So he built one of the biggest yeshivot, right? The most few floors, mashu mu'udar. To the point some rabbis asked him, Rabbeinu, why do you have to build such a beautiful yeshiva? Cannot build a simple building because he collected a lot of money. So they told him, you should have built something tzanua. Why do you build? He says, listen, this is called Ze'eli Vanveu. B'kitzur, Baruch Hashem, he was able to collect the money and build this yeshiva. So, he invited all the Geonim, all the Rabbanim, all the Gdolei Ador. So one of the, Chachmei Lublin. Right? So one of the Rebbes, when he got up to the Drasha, he says, listen, Rav Meir Shapira is not a chidush for us. Whatever he does the best. His learning is the best. His chokhmah is the best. His talmidim are the best. His talmidim were Eluim, all of them, they knew Shas, right? He says, for me it's not a chidush what he built over here. But what I really want to know, what mitzvah did he do that Hashem gave him the opportunity to build this yeshiva? You can be the best, but Hashem wouldn't help you, to do something the best. If Hashem helps you to create something out of the ordinary, you must have done something special that Hashem wants to give you the zchut to do that. So this Rebbe said, we go on, whatever you want, but it's not this. He did something that Hashem wanted him to build this yeshiva. Lehavdil, afuch is by avera, by the sins also. You must have done something That if you come to do something by mistake, you come to open the light by mistake on Shabbat. Do you think it happened by mistake? You come to do, I don't know, something, melacha. You come to do melacha by mistake on Shabbat. You think it's by mistake? No, it's not by mistake. You did something, either Erev Shabbat, you did something, or the Shabbat itself, that Hashem let it be, she'avera goreret avera. Avera goreret avera, right? So there's a Milchat Chinuch on this parasha. The Milchat Chinuch points out that if we take this parasha of Nazir, we see he's like a status of a Kohen, and not a regular Kohen, Kohen Gadol. Because we read already, Parashat Achrei, that it says, Emor la Kohanim, Parashat Emor la Kohanim, it says over there, when a Kohen loses one of his 7 closest relatives, his brother, his sister, his father, mother, brother, sister, his wife, right? What else? Son, daughter, he can go to the day on the day of the levaya. He can go to the cemetery. After that, he can't anymore, right? But he can go to the levaya. On top of it, Kohen Gadol, he cannot go aviv v'imo. He cannot go even to his father. Mina mikdash lo yetze. He's not allowed to leave the temple. They take his parents, they bury them. He's not allowed to follow the coffin and to bring it to the cemetery. So over here, Nazir says the same thing. Le'aviv ul'imo, le'achiv ul'achoto, lo yitama. Bemotam. Lo yitama lehem bemotam. So what type of kedusha does he have? Kohen Gadol. Even more. No, Kohen Gadol. He has a Kohen status of Kohen Gadol.
Same thing about the Nazir.
Yeah. But by the Kohen, right? Mazeh? כן, נכון. The Gemara is there, right? How do you call this? The Minchas Chinuch says, you see by Kohanim, regular Kohen could go to the Aviv V'imo, right? So why is the Nazir higher than a regular Kohen? Lama Nazir, he gets to the Madrega, to the level of Kohen Gadol. You know, even a Kohen cannot reach such a level. Even a Kohen does not. He reaches a level of a Kohen Gadol. So he says the following thing. Kohen did not choose to be a Kohen. He's born Kohen. You know? You're not Kohen by choice. So the Torah gives you halachot pertaining to Kohen and halachot pertaining to Kohen Gadol. Nazir, he brought upon himself the Nazirut. He brought it upon himself. Says the Milchat Chinuch, bringing upon yourself such a kedusha, right, to be Nazir. You know what it means? 30 days not to drink wine. Even kiddush you cannot drink. Even avdalah you cannot drink. Somebody else has to drink it for you, right? So anything that has to do with wine, any mitzvah that has to do with wine, you cannot do, right? Because you brought upon yourself this kedusha, this type of a kedusha, says the Milchat Kohen, he has a higher siyata dishmaya. Hashem is with him, and Hashem helps him, right? So he says, that's why Hashem is giving you such a siyata dishmaya. So Hashem told you, you know what? I'm going to bring you to the level of Kohen Gadol. Look at Kohen Gadol. What does it say in the miracles? Asara nisim na'asu la'avotem bet hamikdash. One of the miracles, what? Kohen Gadol, he never got carry on Yom Kippurim. Why? Because min hashamayim, they watched him. Min hashamayim, they were watching the Kohen Gadol. Shelo yera lo carry. He shouldn't get impure on the day of Kippur. So they're watching him. Min hashamayim, they're watching you. You have a siyata dishmaya. So that's why Hashem tells you, listen, for me, you're like a Kohen Gadol. Even for your father and your mother, you cannot go to Bet HaChaim, to the cemetery, right? But you have to respect your status. So that's why we understand, if he gets in a situation, shemet alav met peta pitom, min hashamayim, they watched you. So what does this mean? Avera goreret avera. You must have done something wrong. And if you did something wrong, min hashamayim, they cannot watch you anymore. Min hashamayim, they're watching you as long as you watch yourself. You give yourself chashivut, you give yourself important is you watch yourself, then min hashamayim they're gonna help you. If not, right? You're gonna have to pay for that. And what's the pay for that? Is to bring korban, right? B'yom Torato. Now we have to understand this person, according to Rashi in the Gemara brings down this person. He was already in a situation where he did something wrong. He was right. So right. So Rashi says, "Lama nismecha parashat sota le parashat nazir." Right. So what happened exactly? The Torah speaks about before about sota. What's a sota? A lady that is seen by her husband going out with somebody. Going out means talking to somebody. Maybe drinking coffee together in Starbucks. Maybe I don't know whatever. And the husband says, right? No. So first the husband see them talking. Then the husband, Vikina la bala, says, I don't want you to talk to anymore to him. And then she goes into isolation with the person, right? She goes into yichud, isolation with the person, and then two witnesses come. We saw your wife, she went to a hotel. We saw her. We don't know what she did exactly, but we saw her going to a hotel with somebody. Oh, who is it? Oh, this guy. But I told her not to speak with him. She even went to a hotel with him. So v'avar alav ruach kin'ah v'kinah et ishto. He's jealous now. He brings his wife to the Kohen, and the Kohen questions her: Did you do it? Didn't you do it? Did you cheat? Didn't you cheat? Right? And he gives her to drink. The whole story. Happens to be the people came that day to Bet HaMikdash. Random people. This one brought chata, this one brought olah, this one brought zvachim, this one brought todah. Random, there's hundreds of people there, right? And all of a sudden they see the Kohen, this lady tears her robe, right? Not legamre, not together. He takes off her hair covering, right? He brings her to this side of the Bet HaMikdash. Did you do anything? No. Okay, come with me. He brings her to the other side. Did you do anything? No. Come with me. מטרטל אותה, he's moving, משגע אותה, כן? אולי תודה. Maybe she's gonna, why? Because now we have to take a cloth, write Hashem's name, and erase it. So he wants to make sure that we don't erase Hashem's name for nothing. If she really insists, no, I didn't do, I promise you, I didn't do anything. I just went with him because he wanted to show me something. Okay. So we're going to write Hashem's name. We're going to erase it on the water. We're going to give it to drink, right? This man, amongst hundreds, Ra'a sota bekilkula. Ra'a sota bekilkula. So the Torah says, all these men, all these women, you saw what wine causes? Do you think it happened by itself? No. They started to drink coffee in Starbucks. They started after they text each other, Instagram, this. And then, let's go to a bar, take a small drink. Ayin. It ended off with wine, the Torah says. He ishketa et aboel, she was giving him to drink. What? No. Not really. People are there. It doesn't have to be invited.
Why would the Gemara say that if it seems like people are invited? Oh, you happen.
Yeah, you happen to be there. You happen to be there. But again, there's nothing such thing as a happen to be there. Min hashamayim, right? They brought you. But min hashamayim, they were testing him. Lama? What does it mean, Lashon HaGemara, Mishnah? Aro'eh sota bekilkula. What does it mean, ro'eh sota bekilkula? So I think Pshat is like this. The Kohen was taking off her head covering, right? What does this guy do? Wow, she's blonde. Beautiful hair. You couldn't see it under the wig, not the wig, the hair cover. Okay? Pitom HaKohen עושה, he rips her dress. So it's a little bit, you don't see completely, but you see something. And right away he brings a chevel, right? He brings a rope and he attaches her things. The whole thing shouldn't fall. But till the Kohen brought the rope, which he had, she's, what now? What are you doing? You are gazing, אתה עכשיו looking at her בכוונה ליהנות מהערווה, כן? לך תזהיר את עצמך מן היין. You are dangerous. There was other men there, but you know what the other men did? When they saw that, he put down his eyes. He doesn't have to become Nazir. The one has to become Nazir is the one רואה סוטה בקלקולה. רש"י אומר, מה זה קלקולה? When they took off the head covering and they ripped her dress. ואתה רואה, אתה מסתכל, אתה לא מתבייש? So you have to be מזהיר מניים. Because you wanted to be נהנה מן העבירה. 1 second. Now you became נזיר. So הקדוש ברוך הוא says, you know what? I'm going to give you a סייעתא דשמיא. You did an עבירה, and I'm going to give you a סייעתא דשמיא to elevate you to a status of Kohen Gadol. You know, 30 days. עכשיו, like the Rambam says, הרמב"ם אומר, מי שיש לו מידה מקולקלת, if you have a bad trait of character, right? You have to go to the other side. No middle. No middle. If you have something wrong with you, you have to go to the other side and come back to the middle. Right? So now that you looked at a woman like this and you saw that everything is the wine who caused this whole thing, you have to go to the other side and avoid wine, even for kiddush, even for avdalah, even for anything. Right? So Hashem is saying, I'm helping you to bring you up. מה קרה? עבירה גוררת עבירה. One day he goes in the street, he sees this woman. Oh. וואלה. אז אתה עכשיו, what did you do? You looked at her, right? Don't be surprised if the next day מת עליו מת פתאום. עבירה גוררת עבירה. This is the type of עבירה who brought you to be a Nazir a second time. You already did 30 days. You already did 30 days. אבל מן השמיים they're telling you, לא הבנת כלום. You didn't understand nothing. The reason I told you 30 days not to drink wine, because you were watching this woman. How come you're watching the other woman on the street? Why'd you look at her? Wow, I like her dress, I like her shape. מה? אז אתה לא הבנת שום דבר. 30 days again. First of all, this is מאשר חטא על הנפש. You חוטא. Right? You חוטא. Because מן השמיים, they took your sin and they elevated you. They said, no, you know what? You don't drink wine. And for me, like Kohen Gadol. I give you a status of Kohen Gadol. Listen. איזה חוטא, which חוטא in the Torah gets elevation in his status to become a Kohen Gadol. So the Torah gives you a chance. And you go and you miss this chance. אז אתה לא הבנת שום דבר. You're going to have to redo it again. So to tell you, when somebody wants to do someone's tshuva, you have to go to the other side. And when you go to the other side of the mattress, of the thing, you have to understand you have a siyata d'shmaya now. Hashem is giving you siyata d'shmaya. Nazir can be anything. Nazir is just an example. It can be any type of thing, right? So if you want all the way to the other side and you mazir et atzmecha, I'm not going to do it again, I'm not going to come close to it again, thing, Hashem tells you, okay, אני אחשיב אותך עכשיו כהן גדול, אבל you watch out, because if you fall again, קלקלת את הכל. You destroyed everything. So to tell you, mitzvah גוררת mitzvah. If you do a mitzvah, Hashem is going to give you. Interesting, I was thinking to myself, look what happens when they have those raffles. 2 big tickets to Israel, right? Laptops, big stuff, right? Who wins those things? The rich people. So what you would say? What would you say? Oh, for sure, he bought 10 tickets. Means nothing. He can buy 20 tickets. Means nothing. If Hashem wants you, the guy can buy 100 tickets, you buy one. If Hashem wants him, he's going to pick the one of you, right? But what do you think Hashem makes them win? Because mitzvah goret mitzvah. Those people support the cause the whole year. If it's a yeshiva, if it's whatever, the whole year they support the yeshiva, right? It happens to be a raffle, so the guy says, okay, I'll support the raffle. But this raffle is another mitzvah already. He already did the mitzvah. So Hashem says, you know what? Let him win. Let him win. Because mitzvah goret mitzvah. You understand? So it's not stam that he won because he bought more tickets. Doesn't mean anything. It's because he did so many mitzvot for this yeshiva, for this, whatever it is, kolel, yeshiva, whatever the cause is, Hashem is saying mitzvah goret mitzvah. But the same thing we have to know, avera goret avera. The reason we should be scared to do averot, right, is because you don't know what's the outcome of this avera. This avera, who knows what's going to be next? What's going to be next turn, right? So Shabbat. So say, oh, by mistake. Okay. But now you're going to have to watch out because you don't want this mistake to be repeated in another form, right? So there you go. I think the limud of the Nazir is a limud for everybody. The Torah, when she speaks, right? Sota. What? Sota. Today there's no sota, right? But it is a lesson for women, right? And it is a lesson for men also. To watch out. What are you looking at? Nazir is a lesson for every detail of the mitzvah, of the parasha, is something for us to learn. So Hashem, we should learn, as they always say, you should learn from your mistakes. You should learn from your mistake. What do I mean? Tarti mashma. Don't repeat the mistake, and you should learn also that Chad Shalom can go to something else. So Hashem, Hashem is always to do asukim b'mitzvot, and always mitzvah should be gorer another mitzvah. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.